Hi everyone, this is me Jyotika Bedi from Happiness is Love, and today I am super excited to present this video to you on my most favorite topic, which is love languages. Well, I was just thinking before I was making this video, love is in the little things and it's in so many things. In fact, we don't realize that every thought, every word, every action, everything that we say and do can be infused with love, because after all, we are all love. And there is no universal definition of love per se. Love means different things to different people, but we all know what love feels like. So today I thought I'm going to make this video for myself and for you so that it can help us decode what love really means to us. And I'm going to bring in a little bit of science, a little bit of psychology so that it's fun for you to understand. And I'll also give my personal examples. So here goes. We all need to first learn our primary love language. Now let me explain what that means. And this is important for me to learn as a parent, as a partner, as a family member, as a colleague, as a person. It's very important to understand what is my love language. And this is for every family member so that I can be an effective communicator of love. And the best way to really understand the application of what love languages is all about is to apply it to people around you. So there is this gentleman called Dr. Gary Chapman who kind of, studied this beautiful concept of love languages, and I'll share more. And he says that we all have a primary love language and we all have a secondary love language. So every individual has both primary and secondary, and that each love language really represents the whole avenue of emotional connections. And now let's explore really what different love languages are. You need to understand first what is your love language. You need to then learn to express it to people around you, because guess what? People are not mind readers. People don't understand what love really means to you. And third, the most important, you need to get fluent with understanding others' love language. So that means you have to learn to speak other people's love language. But it first starts with you knowing what yours is. So 5 love languages, let's say 6, okay? This is what Gottman had researched, but I think there are about 6. So yeah, first one, words of affirmation. And I'll explain to you what that means. How do you communicate words of affirmation? You like encouragement, you like validation, you like appreciation, you like to empathize and listen actively. Second, physical touch. If your love language is physical touch, you like non-verbal connection. You like the use of your body to express love. So touch means a lot to you. Actually, touch means love to you. Third, I have added is hugs, because my husband Sandeep, his love language is hugs. He's an epic hugger. He's forever hugging and forever seeking for hugs. Next, receiving gifts. You are somebody who puts thoughtfulness in making someone feel special, and you like to express love by giving gifts. And again, remember, the way you give love is the way you like to receive love. The way you express love is the way you also expect love. Next, quality time. This is for a lot of us. And you could have this as your primary love language or your secondary. And I'm going to help you identify that. So quality time. You like uninterrupted time with people who matter to you. You like focused attention. You like focused concentration. And one-on-one time for you is critical. It's crucial for you. This is what love means to you. Next is acts of service. You like to express you like to express your love, not through words, but through action. So for you, this phrase that actions speak louder than words is true for you, because again, you use action to express your love. So you love to help. You love to do chores. You want others to know that you're there. You've partnered with them and you do things for people around you to feel more cared and more loved. So these are the researched love languages. Please ask yourself which one resonates more for you. So you have to have a primary and a secondary. For example, for me, my primary love language is words of affirmation. Words speak to my heart and my soul. And that's why I am forever encouraging. I like to affirm, validate. I like to listen actively because this is what love means to me. And that's why I give it. Because when you give it, that's the way you want to receive it. And that's how you expect it. My secondary love language is acts of kindness, acts of service. People ask me why I make these videos, because I love to help myself and help others around me, because I believe that the purpose of our lives really is to grow, learn, move and evolve. So we are here, we're engineered to help each other. So again, I have shared my primary and my secondary love language with you. Now you please do a little quiz. Ask yourself first, because like I said, the goal is simple. Know your love language, express it to people around you, because nobody is a mind reader. And third, make sure that you learn to speak other people's love language fluently. So in our family, this is what we do. I am forever asking people around me what love means to them. And for instance, like I just shared, for my husband Sandeep, it's hugs. In fact, when we got married, that's the first thing I asked him. And he said, you know what? Even if we get into a fight, even if we get into a conflict, don't worry about it. All you need to do is just give me a warm hug and everything will be fine. And I told him my love language is words of affirmation. So even if we fight, which we will, it's very important for you to listen to me. It's very important for you to affirm my thoughts, and we can always talk about our issues. And it's helped us understand each other better and have a close emotional bond. And again, you need to ask your children, your parents, people around you, what love means to them. And it's such a beautiful, powerful exercise, because we're all seeking it, but we don't know how. And that's why we're going to decode this together. So again, going back a little bit, if your love language like mine is words of affirmation, I've told you how to communicate it. Now, actions that these people take whose love language is words of affirmations, for me, we like to, if somebody wants to show love to me, then it's lovely if they say an encouraging word, and it has to be genuine. They should really mean it. And again, what actions not to take for somebody, if let's say for my spouse to know that words of affirmation is his love language, what not to do? Not to give me critical feedback. Give me constructive feedback. If people are overcritical, then I tend to get hurt. If somebody wants to speak to me, because like I said, words speak to me, so please give me feedback. I'm all for feedback, but make sure that you give it in a positive, constructive, and healthy way. That's the right way to give to someone whose love language is words of affirmation. Next, now for someone whose love language is physical touch, it is the action that you need to take to understand what love means to them is hugs and kisses and cuddles and physical affection, and regularly, because this is what makes them feel special and wanted. And like I said, for Sandeep, it's all about physical affection. And this is what, and it's so cute. Like when he's feeling down and out, he's forever asking. He'll ask the children, he'll ask me, I need a hug. And when we hold him tight, it's almost like an oxytocin rush, the love drug. He feels fueled with love, and then he'll say, oh, now my love tank is getting fueled. So yeah, and actions, what we should avoid really for such people is make sure that you're not cold to such people. You show them affection, but let's say not coldly, because like I said, warmth is everything for them. For someone whose love language is receiving gifts, again, it's really the thoughtfulness. It's really giving a little thought of, or the gesture of buying a small gift. And that has a big meaning for them. So it's really not about the gift being big or small. It's really the gesture, because the act of receiving a gift, and that's why such people love giving gifts, is what means love to them. So again, actions to avoid, do not forget special occasions. Please, and if you're giving them a gift, don't be enthusiastic about it. Be excited about it. Infuse it with energy and enthusiasm, because that's what means love to them. Next, quality time. Like I said, actions to take, create special moments, infuse them with energy. Make sure you do the little things like a weekend getaway. This is huge. One-on-one time, focus, attention. Let's do coffee. Let's talk. Let's make eye contact. Uninterrupted time. This is what love means to them. Actions not to take. Distractions. Oh my God, for people whose love language is quality time, if you're distracted, and let's say you're distracted on the phone and not giving them focus, attention, and time, or just sitting there without making any effort to make a conversation, this will really make them feel unloved. So please be cognizant, please be conscious that if your partner or your child's love language is quality time, stay away from distractions, keep your smartphone away, focus attention, and make them feel loved and special. Next, my secondary love language, acts of service. Actions to take. These people, like for me, I love doing chores together. I love the fact that Sandeep and I have shared responsibility at home. He leads from his strengths, I lead for mine. And that's what makes us a good tag team, because both of us share chores. And again, this means love to me because I like the fact that he shares my daily load, home load and workload. Actions to avoid. If I made a request, let's say to Sandeep, and that's been ignored and I've followed up and it's not been followed through, it hurts me. It makes me feel sad. I don't feel loved, because for me, I prioritize those little things. So it's important for me when I'm seeking help or I need assistance at work or at home, and I would expect that person to make it a higher priority. So yeah, again, time for you all to pause, to self-reflect, and think about what love means to you out of all these love languages. What is your primary? What is your secondary? And then next step is you have to learn to express it to people around you so that they know what love means to you. And third, you have to do the most important work, which is to understand their love language. And quickly, for just to give you an example, for my children, I have 3 kids. My son, who's the eldest, his love language is, again, his primary is like mine. It's words of affirmation. So I know that when I lap him up with praise and I, throw words of encouragement at him, he feels more self-confident. He feels more loved and cared for. I have twin daughters. So my older twin daughter, her love language, her primary love language is like her father. She's forever seeking hugs. And it's so cute. The days when she's down and out, she'll really come up and curl up with me and say, "Mommy, I need my hug. I'm feeling a little unloved." So it's really, as a parent, it's our prime responsibility to really take out the time to understand our children's love language, because you have to speak it the way they want for you to speak it. Only then will they receive it. And for my littlest, Ayana, her primary love language is acts of service. She is forever asking me, "How are you? Are you fine? Is there anything that I can do for you? I really want to help. Happiness is love." So this is what love means to her. So she is forever giving love in that way. And this is how she likes to receive it. So when I ask her, "Ayana, how are you today? I hope you're well. What can I do to help you? How can I speak your love language more fluently?" And I ask this question not just to my children, but even my spouse and even my parents and people that I love and cared for. Believe me, this is where the magic happens. All you have to do is ask these simple questions for your heart to reach another's. So again, to me, in the end, I'd like to say, love is a verb. Love is a doing word. Love is a choice. And all of us blossom when we feel loved, and we wither when we don't feel loved. So again, let's continue to spread more love, love, love. Keep smiling, keep shining, keep inspiring, and keep liking, sharing, subscribing to our channel. Your love, your support, your encouragement means the world to us. And like I said, it's my love language. So every word that's put out there, I thank you with my folded hands, because it speaks to my heart. It fuels us, it propels us. And like I said, we are here for you because we care.